Yes, 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 yes. Here we are once again. Grand Rising all, and welcome to the Daily Huddle. My name is Steele Greye. I'm your host for today on the business. On Fridays, we speak about business. We speak about matters dealing with business. We have special guests. Today is a solo presentation. And if you have not already looked at the topic is, what are people saying about your business? And why? This is a question that comes to me all the time. It comes to me all the time because I see other people's businesses, and as I see their business and I say what I say, I ask myself, what are people saying about my business and why? Just to give you a little background, for those of you who've never been on Daily Huddle before, I am a vocalist, an instrumentalist, a band leader. I host a podcast called the Morning Mind Podcast. I am a music teacher, so I deal with different age groups of people that are exploring music or want to become better or get into the field better. And I'm an engager, right? I'm always connecting people or getting connected to people or taking something from one group of people to another, like all these different things. In that process, over the years, I started my own company called Ricochet Worldwide Play. Excuse me, a little water. And the reason why I began my company is because I was speaking so much about the company that I was in my mind, thinking, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Why did they do this? Why didn't I get this? And I thought to myself, what would happen if I started my own business and I answered all those questions within my power, right? What could I do to create a space where a person who was looking for exactly what I offered would be comfortable? How would I speak to them? Where would I take them the first time that I met them? What would I offer them from my talent, my experience, and my network of musicians? How would I do that? Right? So I thought about it and I said, well, first impressions are incredibly important, like even more important than most people treat them on most days. So, where do I want to take them when I first meet them? And what would that say about me as a person, right? If I meet you somewhere and you ask me to meet you at a specific place, uh, in everyday life, right? For dinner, for recreation, traveling somewhere, why am I taking you to that place? And what does it say about me as a person? Now, maybe this isn't apropos at all times, but in business, people are buying you before they buy your product, right? For an example, living in New York City, there's some things that are everywhere, right? We'll call it coffee and pizza. Okay, let's say those two things. If I were to ask you where would you go to get your coffee, one of the highest answers to that would be Starbucks. But why? Because Starbucks has hundreds of locations, it seems, in New York City, and we are so used to seeing their brand, the way they welcome us into the store, the things that they have for us in their location. The coffee is actually not the first thing. The convenience and the marketing is really the first thing, right? Pizza's everywhere. But why do you go to a certain pizzeria? Mostly because it's quick and because it's cheap. It's not that it's the best pizza. So hold on to that concept for a moment. When we talk about business, and let's say in my particular business, I make sure that I meet my clients in a place that is, how do I say this? enticing to the senses. Let's put it that way. A beautiful hotel lobby, a beautiful lounge, somewhere where they might be able to get some drinks or some food. And in that space, I present my product, which is a band that goes from 2 pieces up to 10 pieces if it needs to. Instead of giving them an actual song list of what songs we play, I ask them, what are the artists that you love? And we're going to make sure we're going to play a high percentage of those. And I will put the songs inside of that, the other areas, and I'll make the party smooth, right? These are just examples. Now, talking about the topic, how everything interweaves, is we can't truly hear what people are saying about our business in our first impression and maybe second, because they might not tell us. But we know as time goes by, we're creating a thread with a person, right? Even with other human beings that we have just regular everyday relationships with, people know who you are. They know how you show up. They know what you bring to the party based on what you've done in the past. So I wanted to talk to you specifically about this one business that I go to from time to time. This is how I talk about them, right? When I walk into the business, I see only smiling faces. It's the most incredible thing ever. Young people, maybe in their 20s, maybe in their teens. I don't even know how old they are. They're young. They always greet me. They always say hello. They always smile. It's amazing, right? This is a restaurant I'm talking about. And one day, after I had been there a couple times, the owner was there. She was amazing. She smiled. She came and talked to me. I was like, do I know her? I don't even know her. She said some things to me that made me completely get on her side right away. The product was magnificent. The colors were magnificent. The music was beautiful. And the bathroom was clean. Now, you might be saying the bathroom was clean. Yes. In a place of business, especially on a high end level, I come from a food service background somewhat outside of um, my music background. And I used to wait tables and I used to train people how to wait tables. Within the confines of that, training people how to wait tables, I learned something, and that is people will not come back to your business if the bathroom is dirty. And I thought, wow, that's fascinating, but not fascinating. The bathroom is an intimate area where people go to and they want to be as highly comfortable as possible. So if it's clean, they can do whatever they need to do in a cleanly environment, right? Just one concept. So when someone comes to your restaurant and they leave and the bathroom's dirty, it is said that the experience that is had within that environment in that moment can be immediately cut if the bathroom is dirty. Now, going back to my story about me and my clients, what if, um, I mean, this is going to sound funny, but what if I met my client at a pizzeria and we were sitting in an area where people were getting slices and I started talking to them about business? What would that say about me? That I met them at a pizzeria counter. Two people come in and I'm talking to them. Hey, you want a slice? You want something to drink? Yeah, we're just going to sit right here. We're just going to try not to get the oil in our hands on this paperwork. That would never work. That would never work. So the impression that we're giving, it sits, it's like a seed and it goes into the dirt like the seed. And when it's there, it's either going to grow or it's going to die based on what we say, right? Now, if you ask yourself, I wonder what people are saying about my business, you could ask these people, how was my experience with you? What happened? Was there anything that you liked that I could do better for you, or so on and so forth? I personally take that more to people who are um, most people who are in business that are online that don't connect with people. But ask yourself, in your particular business, if you had to guess, what do you think people are saying about you, right? What Do you think that they love the way that you greeted them? Do you think that you were prepared when you meet them? Or do you think, wow, I dropped the ball on that. I was late coming to the appointment, or I was not prepared, or I forgot my iPad, or I didn't have the numbers ready. What are you thinking in your mind and why? Right? These are great questions because now you're putting yourself in the hot seat so that you can fix the things within yourself and not be so what's the word I'm looking for? What I notice in business is that people are they're moving fast in their business. They're doing things in such a hurried way that they forget the details. So when you ask yourself, what are people saying about my business? You probably know what they're saying about your business because you know when you drop the ball, right? For me personally, I meet people, as I said, in very vibrant places that are colorful or lush. And we sit and I offer them a drink, perhaps, or whatever. And we talk about what they want. This is key, right? A lot of times people say, well, what does your band do? What kind of stuff do you play? And will you travel to the Bahamas? Will you travel to Istanbul? Yes, we will go anywhere. We've been all around the world. What do we play? We play many styles of music, but we want to know what you like. We're going to play what you like. Give people this area to swim in where they don't feel constricted. This to me is so important. Oh my goodness, right? I speak to people sometimes uh, about customer service, right? Of course, under the same umbrella, right, that we're talking about. For those of you who are, I'm trying to give you a good example. Let's say an American Express card holder, right? American Express can be called 24 hours a day. You can call them from any country with any problem, with any question, and they will pick up the phone. That's priceless. What are people saying about your business? I just said that about American Express. Why would I say that if it had not affected me? So the question is, what can you do that other people are not doing that will have people talking about your business, right? I remember years ago, my father worked in Nordstrom. I think it was Nordstrom. And he said to me, Nordstrom will take anything back. And I went, anything? He goes, if you buy something at Nordstrom and you bring it back to them and they notice it as something that they sell, they'll take it back. No questions asked. They'll give you your money or they'll let you exchange for something. Whereas other places say, if you don't bring it back within 10 days, can't give it back. We won't take it back. That seems very simple to me. However, the person who is not happy about what they have, who tries to take it back to a place that doesn't take it back, now they've created a block, right, with that company because they don't like it or they never wore it and they decided to put it on, it doesn't fit. Why can't they bring it back? It's a detail. It's a small detail, but it's a big detail. Again, what are people saying about your business? Think of a business right now that you really feel cares about you. What did they do that makes you think they care about you? Think about that question. Where have you gone in your whole life where you're like, wow, these people really care about me. I love being in this building, right? Think about that. I'm going to plug someone's business that I know. His name is Marcus Antibi. He has a business here in New York City called Good Sugar. It's a great place to eat. It's healthy. It's a vegan restaurant. There's all these fresh juices that come in bottles. The yellow um, color that is in his logo makes you pay attention, right? Yellow is a wonderful color for marketing. It creates this urgency and this lightness and this kind of spotlight, right? So you go, oh, what's that yellow thing? And you go towards it. The people know me. They're always very nice. And the first time I walked into the place, the first time, there were these children there and I was talking to them and there was a beautiful lady there. And I said hello to her. She wasn't working, she was just sitting on the side. And, I'm drawn to children. So I started talking to the children. I said, "Are these your children?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Wow, beautiful children." She goes, "Thank you so much." And we talked a little bit. And she was in front of me. So I thought she was in line. And she wasn't. She was just standing there with her kids. Come to find out, she's the wife of the owner. He comes out energetically. Somehow we connect. He goes, "Hey, how are you, man? I'm Marcus." I said, "Nice to meet you. And what a great place this you have here." He said, "Thanks, man. It's your first time here?" I said, "Yeah." We started talking. And he asked me who I was, whatever. He said, "Take this shot. I want you to try this." He gave me a shot. I tried it. It was incredible. Our relationship began right in that moment. The way he greeted me, the way he treated me, stuck to me. And he felt like a kindred spirit. We're still friends to this day. I spoke to him yesterday. I called him. He was in the park. He was meditating. We talked about life, so on and so forth. Now I'm talking about his business on the huddle. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm saying about him because he gave me something to talk about, right? So, are we giving people something to talk about in our business? It doesn't matter what you do. Could be a massage therapist, a gas station attendant, corporate manager, bike messenger. When you leave people, what are they saying about you? That's the question. And yes, Laura says bright colors raise the vibrational frequency. They always do. They always do. Even this image behind me right now, which was taken in Soho, I put this image here because it causes me to remember the power and the altitude of the city around me. Right, everything is divisive in one way or another as it relates to marketing or what we are doing in business towards people. Everything, everything, right? So think about it. What have you done in the last month as it relates to your business that you know will make people talk about your business? I want you to be careful with the question because we're not talking about being fake, being inauthentic, uh, creating something or offering something that you cannot deliver. Let's be clear about that. Or putting yourself in a situation where you don't have the tools, right? You thought you did, but now you're already in front of the client and you can't make it happen. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about within yourself, with your current tools, what can you do to make people go, "Huh, I like that. I've never seen that before. That's great. That's really, really great. I love that." And I always tell people before they hire me, I want you to come and see the band. I want you to come and feel our energy. And sometimes they say, "Oh no, I'm okay. I'll just, I think you're great. My friend saw you at such and such, whatever the case may be." And I go, "Okay, I would love for you to come and see the band." And when I do, they come and they go, "Wow, thank you so much. This was great. We have um, we have refreshments for them. We might have some extra song lists from the band for them to look at some things." And we talk to them and we touch them. They're there in front of us. It makes such a huge difference, like an amazing difference. So, you know what? Let's take a question. I see Florence's hand up. How are you, Florence?
Hi, I'm excellent. I'm blessed.
Yes.
And good morning, everyone. Um, Thanks for the topic.
Yes.
Now, I don't exactly have a business. I'm in the process of forming business. But
Excellent.
my motto in business, well, whatever it is I'm doing, is just to bring joy to
Right.
wherever I am,
Mhm.
whatever I'm doing, to be a conduit of love, to be a conduit of joy. So right now, anytime, whatever I'm doing, when I'm calling people to tell them about what I do, whatever it is, my intention is to bring joy and to bring love. So I'm not seeing a customer, I'm just seeing a person. I'm just seeing a person who deserves my love. I'm
Mm.
just celebrating people. So that for me is just giving to people, making them feel good, regardless of whether they become my customer or whether what, but just giving to them. And I don't think that you can lose. When I say lose, that you can, yeah, giving love, I don't think you can ever lose. But one thing also I wanted to say is when I came to New York, which is about 30 something years ago, I would go into stores. Well, I'm from a more British background because my country was a British colony. And we know something about customer service
Yes,
there.
you do.
So, um, when I go into stores, I would go into different places. And as soon as I interacted with the people who own the business or, the staff,
Yeah.
I knew this business is now going to be here in a few years. And everyone that I got that feeling, anytime I walked in and I got that, a certain feeling, I knew this business was not going to be here.
Yes.
And it always happened.
Yeah.
It always happened.
Yeah.
Because as you walk in the door, even with this hairdressing salon or
Doesn't matter.
whatever, you
Doesn't matter.
walk in and there's a certain atmosphere, you know this business is not going to be here in a short while. So this is what I want to say.
Very powerful. It's very powerful. I agree 100% with you. And I'm so glad that you started out with the concept of love and joy and giving people what they need to be happy. It's such an elementary business concept that people miss because they are so focused on the dollar. They forget about the human treatment. I could say so much about that, but thank you so much for that. Rashida, come on in.
Good grand rising. Thank you so much, my brother King. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the topic. And Florence, I love what you says, Florence. It's like, oh my God, you like really nip it on the butt. Really nip it on the butt. And why I say that is that I will say the same thing. When I came to this country, when I wait a minute, and you saying good morning to people, people look at you like you have 20 head. I'm like, wait a minute, what happened here? And eventually, I gradually started to say, oh, this is their culture. I said, no problem. But mind you, I have never stopped saying good morning. I get on the bus, good morning, driver, how you doing? And even like looking at me like, wait a minute, where she come from? She's from the next planet. And I love to feel that from a next planet because in just the love that I walk the street with, it just make me be so different. And it's like what Florence is saying. You go into a store, I don't even stay in the store when I don't get the good vibration. I
Right.
say, hell no to the no, I gotta get out of here. I don't want it to take home. I don't want it to even stay into the setting because I don't want no part of it. None whatsoever. And mind you, I taste the way we met was a joke with the way we met.
Right.
This we Oh man, we met and it was like the ancestors were like these two guys. They're going to really click.
That's
And
true.
that day when we was in that store, somebody passed and there was we Chase and I look at each other and said, what happened? What we miss? What we miss? This guy have an attitude for
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
because nobody was giving him the time of the day. So we have to be mindful the love that we really instill in other people when we interact into going and buy something or just able to get a service. You know exactly if you should stay and get the service done, I'll go somewhere else. And thank goodness it's not only one store or one beauty parlor or one whatsoever. You can pick and choose in life. Thank you so much, my dear brother. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes, Rashida, yes. You know, living in New York City, I get to see lots of service. I look for it because I'm a service-oriented mindset. And I can remember different situations where I walked into a store and someone made me feel so good. I just wanted to go back again. You know, whether it was a man or a woman, it didn't even matter. And I remember one day I walked into Tom Ford on Madison Avenue. I don't own any Tom Ford. Well, that's not true. Maybe I have a Tom Ford t-shirt, not a t-shirt, a dress shirt, and I have a Tom Ford glasses. I got them outside of the store. I'm not really big on names. I like quality. I like things that are very utilitarian and strong and just built for life, right? So I remember going into the store and a beautiful woman was in the front at this desk that looked like futuristic. And she said, "Good afternoon. Welcome to Tom Ford. How are you?" And I said, "I'm well. How are you?" She said, "I'm spectacular. Have you been in our store before?" I said, "I have not." She said, "Men's are on the second floor. Someone will be waiting for you to help you. And wonderful to see you today." But she didn't say it like a robot. She said it like she was waiting for me. I was like, wow. And then I went upstairs, and when I went to the area where these shoes and stuff were, there was a guy up there who was like a robot. He was like, "Good afternoon, welcome to Tom Ford." And I was like, "How are you? Nice to see you." "Nice to see you." And he just walked away. He never came back up to me. I think he sized me up, or maybe he thought I wasn't going to buy anything. And so I said, let me test this guy out a little bit. So I got these pair of boots that I love. And I asked him, can I try them on? And when I asked him, he was like, what size do you need? Totally cardboard, nothing. And he took the experience down for me. And he was so not interested in me. And I'll never forget him at all, right? Another time, I was in a place where a young girl was ringing people up with food, and she looked at me like she was angry. I said, "How are you today?" She goes, "I'm fine. What can I get you?" And I was like, "I would like the da 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 da. We don't have that today." And she looked at her phone. And I thought, oh my gosh, I got to get out of here. I feel like I'm suffocating in the last 5 seconds. I have these little snippets of stories from New York City, right? So I'm going to give you two uh, pointers or recommendations or highlights as it relates to your business or other people's business. We can interchange. Number one, if you're in a business that serves you properly and you feel great about them, go on Google reviews or Yelp, take 20 seconds to go and go, "I went to such and such today. It was awesome. You have to go there. I love it here," right? Do that for the business, right? Number two, anything you can compliment within the business live, do that, right? I'll tell you one thing that I do. There's a restaurant that I love. It's called Planta Queen in New York City. It's a vegetarian, vegan restaurant. It's so beautiful. Everyone knows me there. It's crazy. And what I did the second time I was there, I went past the kitchen and I said, "You guys are doing an amazing job. The food was incredible. Did you make my dish? Or who made my dish?" Of course, they don't know who made my dish. There's a lot of people in there, right? And they laughed and they said, "Thanks, man. We appreciate it." I said, "Great job. You guys are amazing." Every time I go into that restaurant, at least 7 people say hello to me. "Chase, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey, Chase, how are you?" I connected with them and I told them what was great. I'm not saying make up a compliment. Be authentic. If you see something you love, tell them. I'm telling you, it's the simplest thing, but it causes a vibration between two people. So as I've given you lots of things to think about, remember to ask yourself, what are people saying about your business? Or what do you think they're saying about your business and why? Just think about it. Simple concept. thank you all for joining us today. I enjoy the business day because I have a lot of things to say about business, a lot of opportunities that I've been given, and a lot of things that I go through in business. So this is fun for me. I'm glad that Sorel and Giovanni trusted me on this day as well. We're gonna kind of chime out with our tenets that we always speak about. First of all, love out loud, love more than you feel you've ever loved in your life, just because you can. Live fuller and outwardly, laugh, right? Have a great time, right? Move the body. Today, if you were not thinking about moving, take a walk for a mile or so. Put some nice music on and just flow through the day, right? If you're going to eat something today, have a plant-based day. Why not, right? Just let the body relax today with some fresh juices, some greens, some colorful things that really, really bring out something in you maybe that you haven't felt in the last couple of weeks, right? Also, give of yourself. Give something today. I would challenge you to give something away, if it's a compliment or a tangible item or a favor. Give more of yourself in a way that you haven't maybe in the last week. Just take it into a small quadrant, right? Also, please sleep some more, right? Sleep more than 5, sleep more than 6, go to bed at 9, see if you can sleep all the way through the night. You never know. And last but not least, please check yourself before you wreck yourself. My name is Chase Steele Greye. Once again, thank you for joining us today on the Daily Huddle, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Thank you, Brother Chase. Blessings, Daily Huddle
Thank you so
family.
much.
One love, guys. One love.
Love.
Yeah.